Oh, wow. Hey, pura vida, pure life, mi gente, my people. Thank you for tuning in once again. I appreciate you guys being here, making the time to go ahead and learn together. Okay. I hope you guys are having a good Friday, a strong end, not a weekend, but a strong end. All right. The Shabbat coming soon too. So Shalom. Thank you again for being here. I appreciate you guys. We're gonna go ahead and basically continue reading a book we've been reading. That's well, I guess for the last week, right? We read the intro and chapter 1 and chapter 2, and we're gonna get into chapter 3 today. Very interesting book. Is pretty crazy that the author kind of talks about things we've already kind of gone over and correlated and be proven, about America being the two world and its relationship to other old world nations and the influence it has on old world nations. So, again, we got to be ready to dodge the hijack though, because we don't just believe everything in the book, but we pull out the babies, right? We pull out the drop. And this chapter seems very interesting. I haven't read it. I'm going to read it with you today, right now. It's not a long chapter, so don't expect a long video, but maybe we'll chill after I'm done reading it. We can chill a little bit and talk about other things. But I appreciate everybody who's here, especially in the live chat. Shout out to all the real ones. I see you guys in the live chat. Appreciate you guys being here. All right. So let me just hold on. Pull up the book. Wow. Yeah, come through. Make sure to like and share. Make sure to subscribe. A lot of you still not subscribed. That's why you don't. I never see you in the chat. But when I let anybody chat that's not subscribed, then you come out. Or when I go on a controversial subject like the Hitler video or anything like, now I got 5,000 views and 500 people watching, right? But I guess people not really interested in history. They just are interested in gossip and conspiracies. I'm not a conspiracy channel. We do history here. All right. Yeah. Again, what book are we reading? We're going to get into this book again, America. The background of Columbus, being a survey of the revelations of science with respect to the Western Hemisphere and its peoples before its unveiling by Columbus. Unveiling, huh? He already knew it was here. He wasn't lost. He didn't discover anything. You can't discover a place that has already millions of people, Okay, so the author is Jennings C. Wise. I don't know if that's a male or a female. I kept calling her in the first couple of videos, so I'm just going to say the author from now on because I don't know, right? I haven't Googled the person, so I should have done that. Says she is from Virginia Academy of Science, American Association for the Advancement of Science, right? And this book is from about 1945. Again, we're going to get into chapter 3 of the book. And just before we do that, because when I have like a video, especially when we're reading a book, when we're reading a book and I like to kind of like, after 3 videos, I create the playlist. So because this will be kind of like part 3 or chapter 3, I created the playlist. You guys see, America being a survey of the revelations of science. Well, it's like the name of the title of the book. With respect to the Western Hemisphere and its people, that's the name of the title of their playlist. And so we had part 1, part 2 the other day, about 3 days ago, and now we're gonna do part 3. If you wanna brush up, if you missed the first couple of parts, right? The first couple readings. I know a lot of you have. I don't expect you to be on top of my channel every day. Make sure you catch, but hopefully you can try to catch up and watch the other videos so we can just see what we've gone over in this book and what we've talked about and kind of get a reference of the vibes of the book and the author, what they're trying to say. All right. Also, just want to mention, last night I dropped a video. I know it's pretty late. It says 11 hours ago. This great documentary. It's like from the 60s, but I also have some recordings of me talking about other stuff. So but I'm getting no views on that. You guys don't like that? You guys don't like these documentaries, or what's going on? Or you don't even know I uploaded it? What's going on? Tell me the truth. Like, I'm getting no views on it. Like, even YouTube saying, why are you getting lesser views? Just trying to explain to me. You guys don't like that? Or you guys just want me to go live all the time and talk about conspiracy stuff, or are you here to learn everything, get the whole context? This is a great documentary I found. Especially how they were, digging through the jungles, when they were digging through the jungles still. Like, this is all recent stuff, guys. They're just discovering all these places in the Americas and Central America and South America and stuff, And a documentary showing also when they uncovered Lord Pakal's tomb, Pakal Botan. This is a real person. This is the one on the right here. Right, that's what they found in his tomb. A jade mask, a lot of jade on him and other things. It was a pretty good, interesting documentary, guys. I really recommend you guys watch it. Not because I want the views, but I want you to guys have the knowledge. So if I ever actually, hey, remember that video where they found Pakal's tomb? You know what I'm talking about, right? So why haven't you watched it? Why haven't you watched it? I know you didn't see it. I just haven't gotten. I know that the channel members and the moderator, I know you guys are eventually gonna watch it, but there's people right now that are not on this live. They're probably not even gonna know I was live today. They're probably not gonna watch this documentary. They're just interested in Karl Marx and Hitler, right? Yeah, that's all they're interested in, right? Anyways, check it out, guys. Help me out and share it and like, so other people can watch it and the algorithms can start working on my behalf. Please, guys. You watched it, good. Thank you. All right, so that's that video from last night. You see this figurine right here? They found that in Guatemala. You see his features, right? Looking almost like a sumo wrestler. And he got like a little turban or helmet. I think he's a ball player. Like a little helmet. And he actually had like this Roman helmet that was on the side of him. I'll show you the whole full picture if you watch the video. I'll show you the whole image. They found that in a place called El Huaca, Peru. It's literally called El Huaca, Peru, but it's not in Peru. It's just called El Huaca, Peru, and Guatemala. One of these places most people don't know about. People just know about, like Teotihuacan, Chichen Itza. But this is one of those little sites that is so interesting, and nobody really knows about. So check it out, guys. In the documentary, they kind of tell you when they discovered it. In the documentary, this is in the 60s, I think. They just discovered these places. And so I talk about it a little bit, all right? So check it out. Check it out. And check out the previous parts of the book we're going to read today. All right? Like, share, help me get the algorithms going. Support what I do. That way, at least, I will watch it now. No worries. Take your time. I just want you to be aware. Some of you might not even be aware I uploaded a video last night, Okay. I know. I get it. It was pretty late. It was pretty late. I get it. So, going back to the book, right? Back to the book. And again, we're going to go to chapter 3. Let me know if the music is too loud at any point. Now, look at the title of this chapter. This is so interesting. Like this is all things I've already kind of like pondered, and I'm like, it has to have been here, and its connections to other old world people. So chapter 3, it says, the flaming sword and the cherubim, the dracons. What's a cherubim? What's a seraphim? They say seraphim in the Hebrew language means flying fiery serpent. A flying fiery serpent. That sounds like a dragon to me. Who are the angels? Who are God's messengers? God's message is a lot of times good, but a lot of times it's not for good. He sends his angels, to take care of the hijack sometimes. And what else better to use than a dragon, right? The most powerful thing created ever. The most powerful thing, dragons, right? The dracons. The flaming sword and the cherubim. God's house and the abyss of learning. Cain and Abel. The Miocene Cataclysm. Ru. The red man rules the earth, okay? The red man rules the earth. Atlas and the Atlantean kingdom, the origin of the name America, land of the immortals. All right. See, I haven't read this chapter, so I wonder if it's going to talk about what we know about the origin, but we'll see. And then look what it says. It says the Algonquian Amerikan-ka-nee. Wow. Amerikan-ka-nee and the man of Erin. Erin, Ireland, right? Ireland. I told you there's a connection here with the Northeast people and the British Isles. I've been trying to tell you that. Why is there an Algonquian Basque pidgin language, guys? Did you guys know that? Basque people and some of the old Algonquian dialect and languages can actually communicate with each other. Do you guys know that the Basque, they don't have no origin story for them? They don't even know where they came from. They try to say maybe they came from Atlantis. Where's Atlantis? The Basque are very unique to Europe, just like the Picts and some of the Celts, some of the older pre-Roman people of Europe, especially the Basque, one of the oldest languages in Europe. And a lot of Portuguese, French, and Spanish people carry Basque names. Like, for example, my dad's last name, my paternal last name, goes back to Spain, yeah, but it actually goes back to Basque. And it's very deep. It has a very deep Basque connection, and a very deep connection to Sarah, or Saragossa, Sarah, the line of Judah, right? Like, right? So I'm not just trying to boost myself, I'm just letting you know, right? So I find this title interesting already. I already find this title very interesting, even though you're going to see it's a pretty quick chapter, but let's see what it's going to say. And then also says the blessed land of Avalon. Where's all these mythical lands? This is what I've been telling you since day one. Where's all these mythical lands that always turns out to be the Americas, all these mythical lands, right? That they have in Europe and Asia and even in Africa. All these mythical lands, the blessed land of Avalon. And then it says the red man found Siluria in Britain. And look at this, Je-ru-si-loam. Jerusalem? The red man found Jerusalem? Well, isn't Adam, doesn't that mean red man? Adam? Doesn't Adam itself mean copper colored? Yeah. So the red man found Siluria. What is the most interesting thing we've learned about the Silurians of Europe? Everywhere they're described as dark-skinned, dark complexion people, so-called black, especially the Silurians. When it comes to the Silurs or Silurians, they're always described as black folks or melanated people, so-called black. And I'm just talking about tans. All right, so that's interesting that they're saying the red man found Siluria, copper colored, huh? All right, let's see what it's gonna say. Thanks for being here. We're gonna read this together, all right? Let's see what we can pull out of this. All right. Let me know if the music's too loud. Let me put it down later. I feel like it might be too loud. All right. It says, it is indeed a wondrous story that Gaia, or Gia, embodied in the history of her realm, Gaia, right? Like Gaia, Mother Earth, Gaia, Gaia. She's embodied in the history of her realm, wisdom, one that makes the fictions of Hugo, Verne, and Haggard seem like two-penny thrillers. With it before us, we find ourselves in the quest of Aisha and the caves of Solomon, treating with Catmon and Milton a plane of thought from which vast vistas of the past open to our eyes. The merciful Varuna, the Atma of the Naga. Who's the Nagas? Was their connection to ancient America and the Mayas? We already went over this in so many videos, right? The Atma of the Naga, who produced not only the ancestors, listen, of the American Indians. You've seen it in reverse, dog. You mean the American Indians produced the Naga. But the Indo-Europeans as well, they're saying the Indo-Europeans. You thought that meant white, right? They make us think that Indo-European means so-called white or Aryan. And you guys think that Aryan means white. Aryan means noble in general, in most of the ancient languages. Would not allow these infantile peoples to be perverted by the Vata while they were being overthrown by the Kara. Kara means black, if you guys don't know, in general, in many ancient languages. And the Narasimha, figuratively, was tearing the earth to pieces. the adepts of the Kabira, 7 spears called avatars by the Hindus, Cherubim, and archangels, right? The archangels, the seraphim, and the cherubim, fiery flying serpent. Look it up. By the Hebrews, the cherubim and the seraphim, the archangels. Christos by the Greeks, dragons by the Sinitics, dragons. So look, I didn't expect this. This is what I was just saying. What's an angel? The Sinitics call angels dragons. Or you thought dragon was only evil. They made us think, they demonized the dragons, right? But the jackal is the jackal. Just like all angels ain't good, all dragons ain't bad, guys. And angels by the Teutones. It's the same thing. Dragons, angels, a messenger. Angels is a Greek word for messenger. We broke this down in my thought videos. Check out my very old thought videos. We got to get back into all that, hermetics and etymology of certain words and its relationship to ancient Hermetism and ancient Egyptians mystery schools. We're gonna get back into that, right? And as in Thoth. So we got all these adepts letting you know angels and dragons, same thing here. It would have been the signs of the impending cataclysm during which the earth, in fact, was to be torn to pieces by the upheaval and submersion of the Miocene that would render Ruta. Remember what we learned in chapter 1? Ruta, it was the North Atlantic continent. That's what the Hindus were referring to when they were calling in their texts, and the Vedic text and the Ramayana and all the Bhagavad Gita. Ruta is literally the North Atlantic continent, or Laurasia. North America connected to parts of Europe still. That was Ruta, the realm where the black magicians had reared the runic inscriptions, right? We find runic all over the Americas, North America especially, the runic monuments. The Afro-Brazilian continent, so this is what they're talking about. They're talking about Gondwana. So don't think Pan-African. Don't get that Pan-African Afrocentric ideology out of you. They're just telling you that part of the world was together connected to a continent that was called Gondwana. They're calling it here Afro-Brazilian continent. Check out part 1. We went over this. And much of the Sino-Siberian continent, where the evil Atlantas also had come to rule. The evil ones, huh? Where, I don't know where she getting this. She got little sources for that. I'm going to show you. Like temporarily uninhabitable. So it says 1, angel, no gurus of the earth gods, Cherubim, Cristo, Ru, Brahma, spirit man. Okay, so, hey, again, we pull out the babies and we dodge the hijack, right? But, we see what the author's trying to say. Yet the wisdom, philosophy must be preserved in all its pristine purity, so that it could be imparted to the infant race represented by the dwarf Varuna. Before the Miocene, cataclysms, the present Gobi Desert, then a part of the Sino-Siberian or Sino-China, right? Siberian continent was covered by a sea that was underwater still. That's not one of the oldest lands, on which a group of 12 islands formed a natural zodiac. Wow. With its center at 40 degrees north, 100 degrees east, marking the meridian passing through Severano, Sembla. Oh, that was the northern continent. Sembla, that's where they get Sealand. All right, he says Gobi, Godus, universe. He starts breaking down the words. Look, and then he got some sources here. Wow, that's a big footnote. Okay. Here was the 7th mountain. 7th mountain in parentheses, or do you mean the 7th tree? Or are you talking about the ancient trees when mountains were trees? Inhabited by the serpent and the cherubim, constituting the traditional abyss of learning. Accordingly, from Genesis 3:24, it appears that following the expulsion of the Vada from the Garden of the Flaming Sword, because another way of calling the Garden of Eden, and we have read this, especially when the Islam and how the peacock, the dragons were guarding the gate and the peacock sneaked his way in with, they were guarding it with a flaming sword. If you guys remember that. Part 2 of my thought video. Which turned every way to keep the way of the tree of life. The tree of life. Implying the zodiac and the cherubim was placed at the east of the garden. Not unnaturally, scientists have begun to find some of the oldest artifacts at this point. Of course, the abyss of learning is very disconcerting to Western conceptions. Yet it had nothing to do with the heathen Chinese. Had nothing to do with that. This was the age of Ru, who gave the Naga Maya language to Siberia. The what? Who gave what? The Naga Maya language to Siberia, huh? To what you're calling so-called Mongols, right? This is what I've been trying to tell you. What have you seen it in reverse? What have you been seeing it in reverse this whole time? Not only to Siberia, but to China, Japan, and Malaysia before the present Semitic languages of the yellow man were spoken. So what were they originally speaking? An ancient language coming from the Americas. In short, it was the age of the pre-Chaldean Akkadians. Pre-Chaldean Akkadians, right? Chaldea, where was ancient Chaldea? Ireland, the British Isles, And remember, when we talk about Ru or the North Atlantic continent, that was all connected. And don't we have an Acadia? Don't we have an Acadia in Northeast America? So what Acadians are you talking about? And that's near Quebec, one of the oldest lands coming out, the Laurentian Mountains, right? The oldest land on the earth. So it makes sense that this would be part of the older cultures, very close to the true old world. In short, it was the age of the pre-Chaldean Akkadians who appeared in Mesopotamia, ages before the Chaldeans. What Mesopotamia? You guys know we got a Mesopotamia in Argentina, and it's a very beautiful, lush, tropical place with huge waterfalls, huge forests. Nobody talks about that. Very ancient land. We are peering very deeply now into the past. Oh, we getting deep, huh? Did the Naga in Ruta know where God's house had been relocated? The Nagas. Who's the Nagas? In geodesy, we find not theory, but fact. All right, we talking about facts, not theories only, like out of Africa theories. As we proceed, the question will be answered by the sacred shrines at which their post-Diluvian descendants were found worshiping. Post-Diluvian, before the flood, or antediluvian. The red Nagas, the red Naga, copper-colored Nagas, were followed by the Negroids. This is why I say dodge the hijack with some of their, because remember, she was going with the whole root races and race. We don't, that whole race thing, you see how it tries to separate. What is a so-called red Naga? They know people really red, literally red, right? But you are brown reddish, you are mahogany, you are copper colored, aren't you? And you are called a Negroid too today, right? Or so-called black, right? Yeah, post, my fault, post. Post means after, my fault. Yeah, post means after, you're right. Who we are told evolved in the equatorial zone. We are told, oh, that's all, the climate, that's why they're, we got to dodge the hijack with that too. With 3 races occupying the earth, the old leopards did not change their spots, or the old jaguars was more dominant, was more dominant. Jaguars was more recessive, leopards. capable of numerous interpretations. The biblical allegory of the murder of Abel and Cain, however, does not relate to these races, but to the human nature, common to all of them, wherein the evil destroys the good. According to the esoteric science, the beast-like fourth root race who came to rule the earth, all right, that's theosophical Blavatsky stuff right here, guys, turned black with sin, implying that under the influence of the evil Atlantas, or black magicians, they had turned to idolatry. And that we can definitely go with. There's always some bad apples. Like I'm trying to say, there's always some bad apples. And we did fall off, right? Going into idolatry. They didn't keep the code. They didn't keep the code, the covenant. If you're new to my channel, make sure you catch up on all the old videos. If you just got here, try to watch from the beginning, so you can get the context. And make sure you check out the previous parts of this reading and my other playlists. We've gone over so many good books. Just as the Vada, upon the separation of the sexes, had set up the 7 primordial gods in Babylonia. Where was Babylonia? The Kata means black, had perverted the philosophic conception of the Semitic serpent cult. Semitic serpent cult, huh? The snake kings, the dragons, into the moon god Sin, moon god Thoth. Thoth was a moon god before he became everything else he became. He was originally a moon god. So what happened? The Semitic serpent cult turned into the moon god of sin. What happened with Thoth? Thoth kind of like became hijacked a little bit. Whose traditional seat in Mesopotamia was Ur, right? This is what I'm saying. They put in Ur. They want you to think over there, but where was Ur of the Chaldees? Ireland, Urland. Urland in the delta of the Chat el Arab. Before the beginning of the Miocene Cataclysm, the monkeys of the new, followed by the monkeys of the old world, had evolved into Eocene of the Tertiary. So this is going off again, that Blavatsky root races, and we're talking about here monkey bones now, guys. We're talking about evolution and Darwinism. This is why I say we got to dodge the hijack sometimes and pull out the babies. But it's still interesting to read these people's perspective, right? Then came the larger primates, including the Siamang, the chimpanzee, the orangutan, the gibbon, and the gorilla. So maybe she's just talking about animals. By this time, Abel had been murdered, in the sense evil had destroyed good. In Genesis, we are told that while the earth was crying for the blood of Cain, it opened its mouth. Thereupon began the Miocene Cataclysm, with the vast uplifts that made the earth a frightful place. After a while, the Kata, like the Vada, who had been banished from the garden, so all these people, so it wasn't just 3 people, found an asylum in La Anka. That's where he's putting this. So he's putting basically this author and a lot of authors, they put in the old world in Asia, like not understanding this was all connected. With this Pacific continent, it's all connected. It's all called Lemuria. It's all called Atlantis. In the end, however, only the Singala remained of this island, where stands today Adam's Peak, in which the Hindus and Hebrews saw a natural symbol of the cosmic lotus. During the Cataclysm, the 4th root race, we are told, vanished from the earth along with various mammalia, unfitted to exist under the new atmospheric conditions. You mean the monkey man, whatever they were, got erased? When this race perished, only the ancestors of the present Pishacha of Singala, the Flatheads of Australia, and those in the Pacific continent remained to represent the Vada. So remember, they were telling us that the Pacific continent included Central America before it got connected to North and South. Remnants of the Pacific continent that's supposedly underwater now. Baragua was a place they called parts of Nicaragua, all of Costa Rica, and parts of Panama, Baragua, and old maps. Fortunately, the calendar preserved by the Brahmins, Tamils, and the zodiac correlates with Genesis. What followed the Cataclysm? It conceives of a succession of Maha Yugas, or great cycles, each consistent of 4,320,000 years. Of these, the symbol of the present one was the sacred tetractys of Pythagorean philosophy, corresponding to the Piramu, Father, Son, and Mother, the Trinity. Again, going into Hermetics, and we start going into a little bit of the hijack, to which Herodotus ascribed the name of the true pyramid. In it, each thought represents a cycle of 432,000 years. In this figure, the cycle of 432,000 years at the apex was the Krita Yuga, or Golden Age, also called the Satya Yuga, or Age of Innocence. The next cycle of 864,000 years was the Treta Yuga, or Silver Age, while the third cycle, or Dvipa Yuga, was the Copper, and the fourth of Kali Yuga, the Iron Age, that began in 3004 BC at the death of Ramakrishna. So, based on my studies, and I can't remember where I was like reading, this history, that they have mistranslated or miscalculated these zodiacal calendars of the Hindus and added so many years. And it seems that they only go back to like 40 or 50,000 years. And most of the old world calendars kind of do that. And I got a future video on this. I'm going to show you what I mean, guys. There's a lot of good people that have done the work and put it into writing for you to understand all these mistranslations and misconceptions, right? And adding, of course, they want to glorify themselves. A lot of the Hindu modern scholars, they want to glorify their age and say, oh, we the oldest, Sanskrit's the oldest, we the original, we the all this, we. But who is the Nagas? They all come like, who's the first people there? Who's the Nagas? Who's the Nagas? Let's not forget. Who's the Ramakrishna? The colors assigned these successive ages implied not only their material history, but symbolized a philosophic conception that with the growth of human knowledge and materialism, man became more opaque to spiritual light, while strife increased, just as shown by the written records of man. All right, so we do know there's been definitely different ages. How long were these ages is what I'm talking about, right? They added a lot of years in the Hindu modern interpretations, not in the text. The text don't say all that. But let's just go with it. There has been kind of like ages or resets, right? Even in the Bible tells you. Even in our indigenous folklore and history, oral traditions, and all over the world, there's been a couple resets and a couple of different ages. And like for the Aztec or Maya, the 5th age, the 6th age, it's kind of like where we are, supposedly, right? The Tetractys also fixes the beginning of the Pliocene in BC 2,595,004, when the golden age of the Nagas began. The golden age of the Nagas. So it goes from the Pliocene, I believe, goes from 2.5 million to, like, if I'm not mistaken, 200,000 years ago. And even in geology, when they try to teach us about the Pliocene, and remember, we got videos on Pliocene man in America. They're finding bones. They're finding human bones. They're finding mastodons that look like they've been living with humans, been hunted by humans, killed by humans, inscriptions in their bones from these time periods. That's why we call Pliocene man or Tertiary man in America. Because this was also called the Age of Innocence. This does not imply that man was innocent, but only that in this cycle, innocence of the sins ascribed to the 4th root race and the Cainites was stressed by the adepts of the 5th cycle, represented by the dwarf Varuna. All right, so very interesting. So yeah, people falling off, not keeping the code, And then remember in the Bible, the falling angels influencing, right? Like, okay, so got to put everything into perspective and different school of thoughts that you've been in and try to understand what this author's trying to say in her and his or her understanding, right? But although the moon god, Sin, Thoth, had been overthrown in the Sino-Siberian continent when the age of innocence began, and in that sense Cain went forth from the presence of the Lord, as shown in Genesis 4:16, the Cainites continued to dwell in the land of Nod, on the east of Eden, where there were still Vada. So who most likely, when the angel said, hey, look how beautiful the women are, let's go down and mix with them. Let's go have ourselves some women from the men, right? Who they, in general, like when you read apocryphal books, it seems like they were going towards the Canaanites or the descendants of Cain and doing that. And it seems like Jared, who's Jared? So-called Jared, so-called Enoch's dad, seems to have messed up and done something with one of these women who was half. Why did Enoch come out the way he came out? Why did Noah come out albino? Right, in the book of Enoch. Like, this is all stuff we talked about, right? We can't prove it, but it's just to have some kind of context and understanding of certain things, why Enoch never died, why Enoch was able to talk to angels and walk with angels and talk to God. And why did they go ask in the book of Enoch, why did Lamech go ask Methuselah? And Methuselah said, ask Enoch, why is Noah albino? Why does he look like the angels? Why does Noah look like the angels more than like us? And why is he able to produce different types of people? It's all, whatever happened is all part of the Most High. Like, it's all part of it, guys. It's all part of it. You think I'm talking religion, but I'm really not. Mountains, in parentheses, an old adage has it, make enemies of those who otherwise would be as one. Yeah, let's guys, with all respect, right? Let's try not to spam the chat. You gotta let other people talk too. With all respect, all right? With all respect, all right? So it wasn't the case of the Great Ranges, which had appeared while the Miocene Cataclysm was tearing the Earth to pieces. To be sure, the terrestrial zodiac still constituted the abyss of learning. So let me just read this footnote right here. So 16 was where the Nod east of Eden. So let me see the footnote here. It says, Nod, the Domini of heaven and earth, says Dai Ya, Domini, a spirit across Ja. In 1600, the Celebes were still called the land of the heaven and earth, while the island of Vada in the Fiji group preserved the name of the Vada. Josephus showed that Cainitic refugees, doubtless from Lanka and the land of the Southern Cross, America, after long wanderings over the earth, arrived there and found wives among the Negroid ancestors of the Melanites and the so-called lost continent of Mu. Negroid ancestors, Melanites, Melanin, Melanites, the lost continent of Mu. Where's Lemuria really? Nevertheless, when the Pliocene began, the Cataclysm had left numerous widely separated groups. In Daitya were the Cainites, and in Indonesia, the Dravidians. To the south was the land of the Southern Cross, where the Flatheads had survived, and the Sino-Siberian continent had evolved the ancestors of the Yellow Race, while the infantile Negroids, this is what I'm saying. Look where he's putting. See, this author's going with that whole, the first advanced people were what? Lighter, you know, and then came the infantile Negroids. See, this is what I'm saying. What Negroes? You were just talking about the red Nagas. What does red mean? Ain't nobody really red. But this is what I'm saying. You know, we pull out the babies, and dodge the hijacks based on our own research and understanding, right? Who, as shown by Josephus, had occupied Mesopotamia, Arabia, Egypt, and Abyssinia. So who are you talking about when we talking about the pure Arabs, these so-called Egyptians, the Abyssinians over there in that region of the world? And maybe in the Bible they call them Hamites, right? Hamites, mixing with the pure Arabs, Joktan's kids, Yarub, and spread westward to Brazil. And again, are you seeing it in reverse? But literally telling you there was Negroids where? In Brazil. Literally admitting, even in ancient times, right? There was so-called Negroids in Brazil. Finally, in Ruta, there was the red race in the North Atlantic continent, in North America, connecting to Europe. The so-called red race. Again, there's nobody literally red, right? What are we talking about? And then they want to separate it from Negroids. You know, what is the author seeing as Negroids, or what he's saying, Josephus, aka Piso. Adios Piso. Under these circumstances, there must be spiritual centers established for the different groups who by the Cataclysm had been thrown into savagery and confusion, so that they could be stabilized, pacified, and enlightened by the Maya teachers of the universal serpent cult. Universal serpent cult. The Maya teachers. This is what I'm saying. Get the drop. Pull out the babies. Pull out the babies, dodge the hijacks. You just said it right here. Enlightened who? Enlightened by who? The Maya teachers of the universal serpent cult. Calls it a cult. Clan, kingship, priest kings, Khan. At this time, with most of the peoples of the earth thrown by the cataclysms into savagery, inevitably the evil Daityas and other black magicians, including the witch men, warlocks, represented in Hindu mythology by Baal-e, that's the same as Baal, were ruling the world. All right, so see, I like this because I read between the lines of what, you know, based on what I know, right, with some of my research. I'm reading between the lines here, so I kind of agree with what she's trying to say, but the way they're saying it, right, it's just like the missing context of this author in 1945 or whatever. It's funny because the same author quotes Le Plongeon, and Le Plongeon ain't talking about all this stuff, right? Le Plongeon's being very specific. Who's the real ancient people? A clever arrangement was made by Varuna, the dwarf, pursuant to which he was to have all the earth he could step off in 3 paces corresponding to 3 major parts of the earth: Asia, Polynesia, and America. The 3 major parts, huh? So Asia and America, right? Like, what is Asia? When it was connected to America, what is Greater Asia if we got Minor Asia or Asia Minor? Where's Asia Greater then? Like India, right? Where is India superior? Thanks to the wit of Varuna, in the course of time, he stepped off the entire heavens and the earth, implying the survey of the celestial and terrestrial spheres ascribed by Diodorus Siculus to Atlas. Atlas. That has to do with America, guys. Atlas. So came unto him the ultimate dominion of Varuna. In conformity with the Hindu and Greek myths, the name Ru, the reincarnated son of the universe, Ru, appearing in Ruta, Cherubim, and Varuna, also appears in Piduru Tasalaga, What? Tasalaga? That's like one of the Iroquois clans. Tasalaga. That part of that Iroquois clan was the part of the Cherokee that were from the Iroquois. Not all Cherokee are Iroquois though, and they're not all just one little tribe. It's, like I said, like I'm saying here, confederation of different tribal people and again some black Europeans. They formed like in the 1700s, guys, so-called Cherokee. But they had different names and they were different part of different nations before that. Adam's Peak. From these points, the Semitic teachers from the abyss of learning may be traced to Khan Tengri. Khan, 42 degrees north, 81 degrees east in the Celestial Mountains. Mount Elbrus, 42 degrees north, 44 degrees east. In the Pamir and the Palestine in Asia Minor, originally called Ru-Tanu, undoubtedly now also Python, the original oracle of the serpent cult, was enthroned at Delphi near Mount Olympus, 40 degrees north, 23 degrees by 30 east, and Larissa, and also Janus on the seven hills of Roma near the Rubicon. Concurrently, the mysterious Ru, who like Queen Mu, who's Queen Mu? Like, this is what I'm saying. Like, if we hadn't read before Augustus Leplejohn's work, we wouldn't even know who Queen Mu is. Who is he talking about? Who is Isis? Who is Isis as a real person? Not just as a symbolic thing, not just as a corn deity. Why is she a corn deity? Corn is from America. Who is Queen Mu? Who is Eve? Plays so large a part in the Book of the Dead. So Queen Mu from America, from the Maya, is in the Book of the Dead of the so-called Egyptians, huh? And became the hierarch of Egypt, giving his name to the Ruwenzori, mountains of the moon, at the source of the Nile, on the equator, and to Mount Meru in Kenya, the king, the first Jah, near which Kilimanjaro, the highest peak in Africa, had arisen. Kilimanjaro. Plainly, the frequent references in the Book of the Dead to Ru and the lake, which the Egyptologists have never been able to explain. The lake of fire. This is what I'm telling you guys. There's a lot of stuff in the mythology of ancient Egypt, so-called ancient Egypt, right? We already know that was in the Americas, but when you don't know that and you just read in the mythology, there's a lot of things they can't explain. Like, where is this lake of fire? Where is these two volcanoes? Where is this hurricane? Huracan, Horus Khan, the eye, Horus eye, the eye of the hurricane. Remember what we read in another book. So in the Book of the Dead, there's references to Ru and the lake, which the Egyptologists, the gatekeepers of today, have never been able to explain, and reference to the Gobi. The Gobi, they're saying. And look at the footnotes. Because Ru had established the serpent cult at Delphi, nearby we find Rumania, where still the red gypsies, remember the whole drop on the gypsies, inhabited Rumelia, Rutenia, Russia or Russia, and Perussia or Prussia, the Papa Ru of Sia, the Papa Ru of Sia. Okay, sorry, I'm getting a text here. Okay. Okay, so sorry, I was getting a text, guys. So the gypsies, right? Gypsies in original just meant out of Egypt, coming from Egypt, or gypsy. Remember the drop we have on the gypsies, what they originally look like, how they are described in all the old writings and anthropological books from modern, almost modern times to ancient times. Its connection to America and so-called ancient Egypt, and then its connection to the Picts, the British Isles. I mean, we got a whole drop on this on the book we've been reading, Ancient and Modern Britons, right? From Egypt, Ru extended his sway over the present Algiers. So look, now what's going on? They're going into North Africa eventually, into Algiers, into. They didn't come out of there, and that's not Atlantis. A lot of people try to still, nah, it was right here, Mauritania. It was right here. Okay, man, you don't know the size that Plato and everybody else describe Atlantis to be. Then you haven't really read the whole story. It's bigger than that, way bigger than North Africa, way bigger than Europe and Asia. It's telling you the size of Atlantis, gigantic continent size, so-called island. So from Egypt, from America, right? Where's ancient Egypt? Ru extended his sway over the present Algiers into Africa, not out of, originally called Rum El, Ru, the earth god. Now to it was the Greek Poseidon, god of the ocean. So before I go, guys, I'm going to show you the playlist I really want you to get into if you haven't watched it, which is the book we read, Researches into the Lost History of America. Breaks this down pretty good about Poseidon and the mythology of Greeks and all that, and how it relates to geography and real people in America. So guys, try to stay on topic. If anything, let's not, I can't really read the chat while I'm reading. So hopefully you guys are just being good with each other and chilling and not going off topic. Okay, so Poseidon, the god of the ocean, representing Ru and the Hindu Atma, established his capital at the original Mount Atlas. So where was this original Mount Atlas? Let's see what they put in it here. In the island of Poseidonis, and begat out of the early woman Cleito, the 5 sets of twins, including Atlas. You know, ATL it relates to America, guys. Languages and dialects, ATL. Atlantis, Atlas, Atlantic, Atlanta. To each of them, he assigned a realm, the whole being united under his oldest son Atlas to form the Great League to enforce peace described by Plato. Such in brief was the universal kingdom of Ru when Adam 5, remember, so he's saying, remember I think in chapter 2, it was like Adam 1, Adam 2, Adam 3, meaning the different cycles and the different creations or different people that came about in the different ages, so-called root races, right? So just so you can know what you're talking about. So Adam 5 was born in BC 2,506,000 years ago, just 91,000, almost 92,000 years after the age of innocence began. We dodged the hijack with their numbers, right? But get what he's saying. Today we know that gradually the Naga overran the earth and educated the Negroids. So who's the Naga? So you're saying Nagas weren't so-called Negroid too, or dark complexion? This is what I mean. All skinfolk and kinfolk. And I think that's what they're literally trying to say, but saying it in the worst way. Yes, there was other black folks that had nothing to do with the Naga. Okay? You guys have to understand that. But the Naga were melanated people too. So who's these other Negroes that they overran and educated? Who brought the corn? who brought civilization, who brought architecture to the rest of the world and educated these other melanated folks, all skin folk and kinfolk. All right, don't get lost in the hijack. And along with it, that of the mythical Prince Maya. Prince Maya, Naga, right? To whom the Nagas ascribe the serpent cult. That's literally in their writings, guys. Especially in the Ramayana or Ramaya. Prince Maya, who came from this mythical land in the Pacific, based on the Hindus, right? So Hindustan, Pacific, if you keep going, if you go in the Pacific from Hindustan and you keep traveling on the Pacific West, you're going to end up where, right? Where are you going to end up, guys? In the Americas. Or maybe in this time, other islands and continents that were still connected to the Americas or part of the Americas. So Prince Maya, to whom the Nagas ascribed the serpent cult, the feather serpents, the dragons, the snake kings, represented in India today by the Ao and Lota, as well as 5 other tribes of Naga inhabiting the region of Havila, from which the Hebrews derived the name Havila. They constituted the successors of the Vada. Their king was Secha, who boasted of his splendorous realm in Patala, implying Ruta, where the Naga were born, implying Ruta, the North Atlantic continent, where the Naga were born. They're not from Hindustan. They're not from what we call today India. And they are the first people in that place, the Nagas. So who is the original people of Hindustan who brought all this knowledge? So is explained, of course, the Tartans, or the symbols of Tartarus, common to the Gaels and Nagas. So who's the Gaels and how did it relate to the Nagas? This is what I've been trying to tell you. And the Gaelic people and the Americans, and the mystical names of Ao and Lota Nagas. So there's a lot of here like to try to understand, guys, but you know, little by little, we discern the information and we start seeing a bigger picture of what they're trying to tell us here. And these books that we're finding, right? These books, they never showed us. They were the first people to occupy China. Okay, who? The Nagas, not just India. Who are the Sakae, where Buddha supposedly comes from? The Sakae, who eventually became the Scythians, who eventually became part of the Saxons, sons of Isaac. Who are these Nagas? Who first people to occupy China? We literally just read this in another article. Remember, guys, like recently. I'm gonna show you guys what, at the end. The article, we went over like 2 weeks ago. That was so much drop in that article, right? We were reading. Who's the first peoples of China? Sinai, Mount Sinai, Sinaloa, the Naga Hills of India, the Nagasaki and Nagoya in Japan, and the island of Naga in the Philippines, right? These were your first peoples coming from the Americas, all right? Shout out to Leplejon, to Augustus Leplejon for breaking that down for us in a simpler way. In all probability, they were the ancestors of the trinary man of Java and the Pliocene man of England. What are you talking about? Monkey bones? What you talking about, dog? The Pliocene man of England. You talking about Cheddar Man? Cheddar Man, copper-colored man, melanated folks of England. What you talking about, man? I told you who are the Picts, who's these Basque, who are these very ancient so-called hunter and gatherers. And them traces the name Indra La Louis, and Mayenne in France at the latitude of Indiana and the region beyond where the Cheyenne kingsmen of the Je-ru-si Siberians appeared. Huh. I don't know if he's going with the Bering Strait thing here, but we dodged to hide that. Remember what he said, the first Siberians were speaking Naga Maya language. So who your original Siberians? Ethnic cleansing has gone all over the world, guys. We tend to stereotype based on modern concept of who people are in specific regions of the earth, not forgetting who were the original people in these places. Mount Ida in Crete, which is Mount Judah, remember, we broken this down. And Idaho, so what does Idaho really mean then? If Mount Ida is Mount Judah, really, and Crete, and who's the Cretians? Remember, this has to do with Semitic, Hebrew, Israelite people found in these so-called Greek nations, right? So what is Idaho? Judaho? Oh, you don't know? Idaho? Judaho? You don't know? Wait, no, I'm not saying Judaho. I'm saying Idaho, Judah. Owe their names to the same people. They know their names to the same people. There's something in the etymology, in the origin of words, and especially place names, and it connects. You see how it all connects. From Labrador, right, North America, Northeast America, the god Brahma's gold. What? Labrador means what? The god Brahma's gold? The Nagas, so the Nagas were there too, conveyed the philosophic arc of Varuna and Ruta, the North Atlantic continent, to the Massachusetts. Who? To the who? To the Massachusetts. Remember, that was a tribal name. That was a people, the Massachusetts. Remember the brother we had? I showed the video where he's going and he finds the Hebrew Israelite brothers in the street, you know, with their little signs and stuff, talking about the 12 tribes, you know, here in Florida, Cuba, all these places they try. And he's like, hey, that's wrong, man. Where was he from? Remember, he was from the Massachusetts indigenous people. So he knew his people's history and he knew who his people were, connected into the Manasseh and Israelites too. And he was like, hey, man, that's not right. We're still here, bro. We're from right here, Northeast. We're from Massachusetts. And he started correcting the Hebrew Israelite brothers, and they started listening. That's just the power a true person of the Most High has, you know, especially true bloodlines. That's the power they have, man. When they speak, people listen. So now we get into the Algonquian drop right here. So accordingly, Aquidneck, 71 degrees west in Rhode Island, the domain of Narragansett. Look, Narragansett. Did I ever put that together that the word Naga isn't the Narragansett word? Naga or Naraga, Niagara. Oh, Niagara Falls in Canada. Look, Narragansett marks the antipodal meridian of Angkor Thom and Angkor Wat in Indochina, where magnificent symbols in stone of Narragansett are to be seen. All right, I told people don't go off topic. All right, I see what's going on, bro. Don't come over here going off topic with your opinions. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, and my moderators are telling you, go ahead and do your own channel. Don't come over here, interrupt. Guys, stop entertaining them. Time them out. Stop entertaining them, guys. Like, moderators. I know you guys want to go back and forth with these people. I know a lot of you said you just want to help them, but you literally like debating people. Stop trying to debate people's going off topic and just get them out of the chat. I didn't block them. I didn't block you. I just timed you out for today. All right, don't go create another account Yeah, you're in the wrong place. You're definitely in the wrong place, man. Like, I've never seen your name before, Yotin Pimotki. Well, thanks for subscribing anyways. But I've never seen you. This is what I'm saying, guys. Like, just, I know we're reading one book today, but we got over 1,200 books. I mean, 1,200 videos with thousands of books we've gone over. We're correlating from different sources, and we're just trying to pick out the jewels and the drops from this book, and we dodge the hijacks, okay? So we're not just taking everything as ultimate truth, but listen to what deep down is saying deep down. Look how it's connecting certain people of the Americas with other old world cultures. Yeah, don't. All right, guys. I already timed him out, so forget about him. I already timed him out. Forget about him. All right, him or her. Okay. Are you paying attention? No, this is what I'm saying because I know you guys get sidetracked in the chat. I know people are listening, not in the chat, so I'm sorry for you guys that are actually listening. And I'm sorry to be stopping. We're live and I got to take care of certain things sometimes, right? The hijack comes in, I got to throw him right out the door. Okay? So, guys, don't entertain these people. Discern who you can, time out and who you give them a chance. Say, hey, please stay on topic. Hey, please stay on topic. You warn them. And then if they don't listen and they're trying to argue, debate with you, get them out. And if you guys both start debating each other, I'm gonna time both of you out, even if you're a moderator. Like, come on, guys. I let him slide because I'm trigger happy. Yeah, I get it. But nah, don't. When I already said, guys, I already said earlier. I hope you guys are staying on topic. I hope you guys being good with each other. I get it. Let me finish let me finish the chapter, and then we can talk. We can talk about things, right? But he already lost his privilege, unfortunately, because he didn't wait. We're literally almost done with this chapter. Okay. So we're getting into a lot of good drop right now when it comes to the Northeast and Algonquian people, right? Look what he's telling you here. Things that we never think about. Narragansett. Where's that word come from? I know it means something in their language, but the word Naga's in there. Even in Niagara Falls, and how that connects these energy points connect to other energy points on the earth, like they're saying Angkor Thom and Angkor Wat in China. So it says, marking the meridian of the Grand Raja in Borneo, Narragansett, or the Narragansett, one of the most sacred shrines. What? They even have, right, come on now. They have that word over there in Borneo. One of the most sacred shrines of America. Bears in combination the name of the seven-headed serpent, Narayana, and that of Set. Hey, see you, Alice. Alice, see, wait, I thought you were understanding. I thought you were actually with me. I thought you were, Alice, chill. Like, chill. Don't take nothing personal, because you guys gotta understand. This is text. You're not talking to the person in a voice call, in a phone call. You don't know. You misinterpret each other. And if you're talking about the Pentagon, then you're off topic. That's what I'm saying. Alice, who are you? Where you been the last 8 years, man? I get it. People be like, but this is internet. I can say whatever I want. This is my channel, though. So I can get rid of whoever I want. Go do your own channel and teach whatever you like and see if the people will follow and listen and understand what you're saying. Hopefully you got sources. All right, that's good. See, now you're keeping it real, and I appreciate you for doing that. Thank you. Like that's a real person. You proved to me you're a real person. Like, some people are very childish. They can't take correction sometimes, or at least just some form of criticism, or at least just like a form of saying, hey, chill out, man. Just chill out for now, man. But thank you. Thank you, right? And I'm sorry to everybody who's paying attention and not looking at the chat. I'm sorry for going off topic and having to deal with the chat. Thank you for understanding. So we're going over major drop here, guys. And you guys talking about the Pentagon. Like, come on. All right. I'm going to have to read all this back. Talking about the Narragansett right? It says, marking the meridian of the Grand Raja in Borneo, Narragansett, one of the most sacred shrines of America, bears in combination the name of the seven-headed serpent, Narayana, and that of Set. Here, eventually, Massasoit, remember who Massasoit? Yellow feather, Massasoit, the chief, the so-called pilgrims encountered, right? The ancestor of that lady we showed her pictures and colors. She would be considered a so-called Black American today, or so-called African American, but she was a direct descendant of Massasoit. Sarah Mitchell, right? Sarah, I believe her name, yeah, Sarah Mitchell. So it says his name means yellow feather, and Samoset welcomed the English colonists, so-called English. These people weren't just English. A lot of them were crypto Jews. Yeah, a lot of them were crypto Jews. These were melanated folks, many of them, probably most of them. This is the part that the white folks get mad at me for. Why are you trying to make everybody black? Because you got to understand the research and the history and the genealogy. You haven't done the research, so what are you trying to debunk? So welcome these so-called English, a lot of them crypto Jews, right? While Roger Williams and his comrades were saved by the charity of Canonicos, the Sakim of the Narragansett, or the Narragansett. To the north in the White Mountains. The White Mountains, I've been there. It's a beautiful place in New Hampshire. We find Mount Monadnock, and to the west, Adirondack, passing to the Rio Grande. So down in Mexico and Texas, right, we find there the Pueblo groups, including the Zuni, who claim to be descended from the antelopes, wild people. Is that what they really say? And 7 serpents from Acitlan or Silan in the north. Also, so they're saying, hey, some of these Pueblo people, remember the Pueblo people were literally on the move. They was like migrating people. They made temporary abodes or temporary places to live during their migrations. So it doesn't mean they were always from there or that they stayed there. So this kind of makes sense. Who are the so-called Pueblo? If you go way back to my part 1 of my Hebrew Aboriginal tribes series, right? I kind of try to break it down and give you an idea of why these people would be migrating. How did people live in an exodus, right? If you're exodus, like if you're traveling out of a place and looking for a promised land, you would have to make temporary abodes as you're moving down, and you stayed in these places for years sometimes. I'm just saying. Hey, welcome, Ja. Welcome. Glad this is your first live. That's why I try to go live in different times so different people can try to catch me live. But hopefully you guys catch up on the other videos, when I'm not live, like last night's documentary, nobody's watching it. I dropped the video last night, nobody's watching it. What's up with that? Also, there were Naguals in prehistoric times in Uruguay and Paraguay. There were what? Naguals or Nagals? Naguals? Nagus, Naguals? And we've seen images of how they draw the Indians and indigenous people of these areas. I know that today we consider that the Uruguayans and Paraguayans are all so-called white. A lot of you do. I don't. Because I know many Uruguayans and Paraguayans are very melanated. And, I know the history there. So I know there has been a large ethnic cleansing there, or blanquimiento. Literally, blanquimiento, whitening, is a real thing that happened in South America, right? So Uruguay, and a lot of Naguals in Paraguay, still the god Setibos, or Setibos, is revered by the Andean Negro. It's called Setibos. The Andean Negroes, right? Come on now. Setibos. Is he saying these are Africans? No. Andean Negroids, right? In Peru, in the Andean Mountains, Bolivia, going all the way up to, going down to Chile, up to Colombia, Ecuador. Andean Negroids called Cetebos. Finally, because the Ark of Amaravati was common to the whole earth, right? So is he talking about Noah's Ark? Look at this. Or the Ark of the Covenant. So Amara. You can see the American language in this word alone. Amaru, Amaravati, huh? Was common to the whole earth. We find the following place names bearing the Naga Maya place name America. Come on now. You see how eventually, like, yeah, it can talk about all the root rays and this and that and conjecture and talk about, but then look what it's telling you. Like, you got to get the drop. You got to pull out the drop and discern the info. The Naga Maya place name America. Amargosa in Nevada. Amargosa in Nevada. The serpent, the divine diva. The serpent, the divine diva, huh? Let me just read 34. It says, Uruguay, Uranus, the god Yah. Paraguay, wisdom, the god Yah. Paramaribo, I know that. Yeah, that's a place. Paramaribo is a place in South America. Wisdom, man reincarnated, son, Brahma, the serpent. In view of what has been shown, it is declared by the official ethnologists that no European tongue contributed anything to the 7 linguistic groups of the US, okay? They try to say America isn't a European man's name. They try to say that was named by Alberico, which means Albert, Alberico Vespucci. Starts the hijack. We debunked that years ago. Like literally like 7 years ago. I know a lot of you haven't watched that video either. We're gonna go over all this one day, you know, just for the new people. We got new subscribers all the time, guys. Like Josh just said, he just recently came. He's the first live. Like, we got to go over all this stuff again. It's still relevant. And I know a lot of you forget a little bit of the drop in here in between those older videos. Look, what is ethnologist saying? That none of these original 7 linguistic groups has anything attributed or contributed from Europeans. And you can see the Handbook of American Indians from 1907. I have that book. We should definitely get into that. Also, it is evident why those languages, contrary to common conceptions, far from being mere jargons, are rich and full. Far from being mere jargons, are rich and full. All right? Far from being see, that's what I'm saying. Oh, savages. We don't know what language. The language is extinct. Oh, we don't know. We don't. Check out my philology videos, guys. How it connects, like certain people of America connect to other people of the world based on the language. And who's related to who based on the language. The philology. It's very evident why those languages, contrary to the hijack they put in us, the false conceptions, far from being mere jargons, are rich and full. We had the most languages here in the Americas, not in Africa, not in Asia. Most anthropological books, most experts in philology will tell you that it wrote it down in their books, and we've read a lot of them. There were so many dialects and languages here. Naturally, there are place names common to all groups because the Mayas were their teachers. Yeah. Body bag for the illusion. So where were we? He's saying that there's these place names bearing the Naga Maya place name of America. Amargosa in Nevada, the serpent, the divine diva. Amarillo, Texas or Texas, the land of peace. Amarillas in Cuba, the serpent, the universal man. Listen, Amaraco, this is Amaraca right? America was an indigenous word, guys, in South America. And look at this. We've already made this connection. This is why I'm like, wow, Armorica. Like, listen, I've been saying that how many years, guys? You guys know I've been saying it. And shout out to DJ. He's been saying it. He just gets a little excited, guys. He's a moderator. He gets a little excited. And he just wants to everybody know the deepness of what we're learning here. He goes beyond. So we get him. Armorica in Brittany, in France, the Armorican language, literally an ancient Gaelic is from Armorica. That's what I've been trying to tell you. Why are they finding Olam? Why are they finding ancient Gaelic or Olam inscriptions of an older kind in the Americas? We've gone over this. Shout out to Barry Fell, director of the Epigraphical Society. That word always gets me. Epigraphy, the study of inscriptions. Armorica, Ameria in Portugal and Italy, Amara in Syria. We were all over the place. Samaria, right? Samaria in Syria, Samarara of the Volga and on the Euphrates, Amara on the Nile. Told you, we went everywhere. Seeing history in reverse. They told us history in reverse. Amaha and Asmara in Abyssinia. Samari in northern Siberia. Samarkand. Look at that. Samarkand. Samarkand. Aomari in Japan. Samar in the Philippines. The Samoa people. Look, they're legend. The Samoans, guys. Hawaiians, Samoans, the Maori people, the Maori, they have legends of them coming from this mythical continent on the Pacific, not from anywhere in Asia. And I talked to some of the Samoan tribal people. This was a long time ago when I first started my channel, and they reached out to me, the person, and he was telling me how, yeah, we came from the Americas. And we're related to a lot of the Taino, so-called Taino people of the Caribbean. That's what he was telling me. He was breaking it down. And the etymology, he was telling me the oral traditions. So when it said The Rock says, Dwayne Johnson, what's their connection with ancient America? Samurai in Australia. Oh, okay. That word right there, right? What does that sound like? Samurai in Japan, right? The samurai. Who are the original samurai? Woo! The Amarapura on the Irrawaddy. Amarapura. The Amerikan-ka-nee in India. Literally, America. Like, come on now. We can't make this up. We can't make that up. Amerikan-ka-nee in India, antipodes of Xochitl. Talco is a son of Sarah of the line of Judah. Chi, Western Chi, Mechi, and Anahuac. So Amerikan-ka-nee in India are what? Antipodes of Xochicalco in Mexico and Anahuac, ancient Mexico. Ancient Mexico. What is here shown would explain why in esoteric science, the whole world came to be known in the fifth cycle as Varuna, as America. Body bag for the illusion show. Shout out to Drop, man. Shout out to Drop, my boy Drop. Con Drop, 432 The Drop Radio. It was known as what? America, the whole. This alone would explain the consanguinities. Like Ali Cheek just said, when you do a lot of your DNA tests, you might see some Asian relation. You'd be like, how am I Asian? How am I related to people in Southeast Asia? Because they carry the same blood of the ancient people you're related to. This alone would explain the consanguinities and affinities of widely separated peoples. There's like a lot of people in South America and Central America related to Aborigines of Australia and all that. Where's the connection? That's the part they don't want you to know. And of course, they're always going to tell you, well, maybe they came from Southeast Asia, maybe, right? Maybe this is like their country. And then they came here and mixed with the, well, what have you been seeing in reverse? This is the true old world and the oldest land. South America, especially, is very ancient. There's so much drop in South America. We got over books alone just on South America, guys, right? And so-called Atlantis. Startling as it may seem, the proof that the ancestors of the Nazarenes were also the ancestors of the Nazi. Huh? So, okay, let's break this down. Nazarenes, there's no people as the Nazarenes. That was a place. That was a place. And a Nazi, that's not a people either. That's like a movement, like saying the Socialist Party of the, right? We already know that. Check out my Chazar's video, right? The National Socialist Movement of Germany, and the CI, the Zionists coming together. All right. This was a little crazy right here, right? This is a little crazy. Let's see what he's saying, though. That they were, in fact, red immigrants from Ruta, of which America was a part. Merely confirms that the Irish adepts have taught down the ages. So they just mixed a lot of here. Let me see what the footnote's saying. 37, Irish Wisdom, Connor McDaddy. Okay, I bet you guys, and I want you to debunk me if I'm wrong, I bet you when you go read this book, it don't take nine about no Nazi. And Nazarenes and Indian, like, come on now. That was a silly part. That's why I say, guys, dodge the hijack. Dodge the hijack when you see it and pull out the babies, right? They inserted that hijack. Go read the book. Go read Irish Wisdom from Connor McDarry, which sounds like a good book, which we should definitely get into, because we ain't done studying the annals of Ireland. There's so much drop in those. Shout out to all my Irish people watching. Shout out to Peter, the Phoenician. Okay, let's keep going. Hold on. So either way, he's saying that these biblical Nazarenes are red immigrants, copper color from Ruta, from the North Atlantic continent, right? And then he's connecting it to Ireland. That's what I'm saying, guys. Where's Chaldea? Where was Abraham living? Where was Abraham born? In Chaldea, right? What was his dad doing? Messing up. What were they doing? Idolatry. What did Abraham do? He went back to Canaan. He went back to the holy, yep, from Ireland. DJ said, "Pay, man, what you mean? What book is this, guy? You know I always show my sources, bro. And you must have missed the first two parts. Come on, bro. I showed it. I'll show it again when I'm done reading. I'll show it again. I got this book on my Patreon page, guys. If you're interested in having a PDF copy, I don't know if you can buy a physical copy. I don't know if you can buy them, but if you want a PDF copy of this book, I have it on my Patreon page. Okay, just like many of the books. In short, despite theological propaganda fixing the eyes of Western historians on the Holy Land to divert them from antediluvian, we now see how much America contributed to civilization. Body back for the illusion. Yo, shout out to Drop, man. Drop Nation. What we've been saying, man, like this is what I'm saying. Like, America's the true, who civilized who? Who brought the knowledge? Who's these so-called gods in ancient writings? The gods brought us the knowledge, or this guy brought us the knowledge, or Prince Maya brought us the knowledge, Buddha brought us the knowledge. All these people, these so-called Phoenicians brought the knowledge. Well, that was a contribution from America to civilization. All right? How many books we're going to read that they hid from us that are literally concluding the same thing when they start actually researching all these ancient texts and the language and the culture, the oral traditions, the words, everything. It leads back to the Americas, guys. That's what Graham Hancock eventually found out. It took him years, but I knew he would, because I was reading his books from way back, 2000, and eventually I sent him an email. I was like, dude, how you got all this research and knowledge and you don't see the obvious? He never responded to me, but I know he read my email. And then all of a sudden, he got his book, America Before, literally saying the same thing. America contributed to civilization, the true old world, that one civilization, that global civilization coming out of the Americas. But if this, says the skeptic, but if the Pan-African, but if, or the people who want to go with, oh no, ancient world is Ireland and they were white and Aryan, and you know, there's a lot of them out there. They got YouTube channels that you guys be probably heard of. You know what I'm talking about. But if, says the skeptic, but they start babbling. Kurimeo. The Irish claims are sound. Why is there no proof in America? What you mean there's no proof? See, that's in 1945, this author, okay, what did we read once, right? Greater Ireland. Where was Greater Ireland? So there's a mythical land in Ireland, Scotland, and you know, of Greater Ireland. What did we already prove? Greater Ireland was here. You mean there's no proof? You mean you don't got all these ancient Irish writings, inscriptions found in the Americas? To this, the answer is given by the long concealed proof. Oh, that's why, because it was concealed. It was hidden. It was covered up. Now we know that the name Algonquian was coined by ethnologists from the Algonquian, the name of those who inhabited Newfoundland and Nova Scotia, to designate the largest linguistic family in America. So it's not a tribe, guys. You got to understand, Algonquin is not a tribe. It's a language that many nations speak, many tribes speak. One of the largest linguistic families in America. These people call themselves, look, this is drop right here, Erin et Pew. Erin et Pew, the real men or the real people or the first people. That's most of the tribes' name means the first man or the real people. Literally. Indicating they were of Naga descent. We just talking about some ancient Nagas too. Because Scotia, which was Ireland, ancient times, and Nova Scotia or New Scotland, right? Nova Scotia or New Scotia were connected. In Pliocene of the Tertiary, they were connected. It was a land bridge, guys. It was connected. I've been trying to tell you this. Ireland, the British Isles, Scotland, they was very much connected to ancient America. There you go. I've been trying to tell you guys that we have a modern concept of lands and geography. We got a modern concept, and then the Pan-Africans just want to say Pangea, but they want to add Africa. Like that's the only place people ever came out of. When Pan-Africans use Pangea, they still trying to go with their out of Africa theories with me. I'm like, what about it? Pangea, man, Pangea. You think because you're saying Pangea, you're debunking me. We talking about the real man, though. Some real man. because Scotia and Ireland and Nova Scotia were connected in the Pliocene of the Tertiary. The Irish called themselves men of Erin. Men of Erin. Erin a Pew. Real men. Men of Erin is the same thing, guys. This is so much rub right here. Hold up. I gotta highlight this whole thing. And to repeat, cherish the mythical green shamrock. The shamrock, the spirit of the Maya earth, as the symbol of polar lotus. Mad drop right here to break down. A lot of drop here to break down. I've been trying to tell you, ancient Ireland and all these. So when I try to tell you guys about Black Europeans, so this is what I'm saying. A lot of you still get salty, still just take it all in a bad way. And he's trying to make us Black European. We Indian. Listen, if you got Irish in you, Scottish in you, those same people might be related to the ancient Irish who are connected to ancient America. Now, I've been trying to tell you guys, like, stop thinking by boundaries. Stop thinking in modern perspectives, oh, boundaries, fake boundaries, modern geographical fake boundaries and stuff. And your concept that all Europeans were so-called white, or that they all were evil conquistadors and colonists. They came in many forms. But you got to talk about it. You can't just be one-sided. It's just like a lot of people share videos with me still on Instagram and everywhere else. Like, look at this video. Look, all I see is somebody talking about blackity black, black Indians. Nobody talking about their European ancestry. It's not just about the hidden hand. It's normal people doing it. Normal people doing that, being biased. And then those same people are usually the ones judging others and judging people that look like me. Judging people, oh, maybe you're a little American Kurimeo, mate, but you light skinned, man. You ain't one of us. One of us who? Us what? We who? You talking about your Black European part or your Indian part? No, they stuck on 1993. Hey, Jan, I know you. No, they stuck on 1993 Black Power movement still. They ain't trying to get rid of that. That's what they really stuck on. We the gods. We everything. We the gods. Now I'm showing you who the gods are. It included all Americans, not just the ones you picture in your head. Not the ones you picture in your head only looking like. I know you don't picture people looking like me. I know that. I get it. My ancestors were a lot more melanated in general, the ones from the America. But they could have had my features still. The different phenotypes here. All right, I know a lot of you don't want to hear this. I know a lot of you, oh, here he goes now hijacking. The stones don't lie, though. Just like you want to use the Olmec heads, right? The stones don't lie. And there was many different nations here, and even in Africa, where supposedly all black folks come from, there's many different phenotypes. There's many different shades of brown, and there's many different types of hair. Just like in Asia. La familia del cielo. Yeah, tú sabes. So shamrock. I'm sorry. Irish might get a little. I'm sorry. I'm not one saying it. Like, that symbol comes back to the Maya. That symbol comes back to the Maya. There's shamrocks all over the world, not just in Ireland. But I get why it became popular there. Consequently, it also explains the fact that Irish Airi is the metathesis of the Algonquian Erie. And I know a lot of you in the chat were talking about that earlier. Where you think Lake Erie and Airi, and the Erie people, the Erie tribal people, that's a tribal name too. That's a nation that we call the Erie people, right? That means people of the cat, or the cat people. The cat nation. Just like a lot of the Highlanders, just like a lot of the ancient Highlander clans, the cat nation, There's a relationship there, guys. Consequently, it also explains the fact that the Irish Idi is the metathesis of the Algonquian Idi. It's the same word. Look, it's just rearranged a little different. And remember, we read a whole chapter of a book talking about Idi land, how it even used to extend, like this North American continent had parts of Trinidad and part of some of the Caribbean islands attached to it. In the oral traditions of Trinidad, they talk about the Idi land that went all the way up to Ireland. You guys forgot that drop? Finally, the Algonquin Confederacy of the Abenaki and Newfoundland and Nova Scotia and New England included the Amerikan-ka-nee, whose name was deliberately changed by Governor Andros to about 1695 to Androscoggin. Therefore, certain identities between the Algonquin language and that of the Vikings are unmistakable. Who's the Vikings? And I've been trying to tell you, you've seen it in reverse. Oh, the Vikings came in 1000. What do you mean came? You mean they came back to visit their people? You mean they came back? Who's the Vikings? Who's the Danites? Who's the Danites? Who's the so-called Vikings or the six kings? You know, VI in Roman numerals means six, right? Who's the six kings? Who's Eric the Red? Why was Eric the Red called Red? We're talking about Red Man. Who's his ancestors? How did they know about the Americas? If at one point it was all connected, right? But so there was still legends. There was still trade going on. There was still people going back and forth. But what land is older? What land is older? We're gonna probably go over that. What land is older? Right? It was on this side. There is always a center origin to everything, even if it was spread out through all the world. To repeat the story here given is that of the first 5 root races. Oh, here we go with the theosophical Blavatsky hijack, of which the ancients conceived. See, when she says, look, there's no footnote on this part, right? There's no footnote on this part where she just said that. So who was saying anything about root races in the ancients, right? That's your interpretation. That's Blavatsky's hijack, theosophical. Who was Blavatsky's master teacher? One of them, supposedly an ascended master who supposed to be in the spiritual realm. He was actually a real person. His name was Jamal Afghani. I got a video on this. Who also was one of the adept teachers of Noble Drew Ali. All his students became part of movements. What a coincidence. In complete harmony. I know, sorry, the more science brothers, now they're going to get mad at me now again today. But a lot of truthers ain't ready for real truth. They want to be stuck on their bias, background, cultural beliefs. In complete harmony with the Egyptian Book of the Dead, the Hebraic scriptures, and the classics, it accords with the geograph. Look, geography has Gaia's name in it, Gia, mother. I just, things that you probably see and we don't like really think about, but know that now, right? Know that. Geograph, Gaiagraph, geograph. So there's harmony between the Egyptian Book of the Dead, the Torah, and the classics. It accords with the geograph, which cannot be discarded as a meaningless thing. It's not just religion. If it be false, at least it has the virtue of being based upon actual records, logically interpreted. There's a real history in the Torah and records that have endured down the ages. Moreover, it brings us down to the time when, according to Western anthropologists, The ancestors of the present human race were upon the earth. And in addition to this, solves many seeming mysteries to which modern scientific findings in the fields of geology, ethnology, and philosophy and language have contributed by uncovering facts left unexplained by those who have discovered them. This is big right here, because you guys, we got videos, right, on early man in America, right? All these bones they find, all this proof of people living with mastodons and geologic time periods where man is not even supposed to be man. They're supposed to still be apes. Yet over here, they're finding modern type humans. They're finding things that modern type humans do with animals and tools that modern humans do, not monkey men. So this is what he's talking about. The mysteries, these findings in the field of geology, especially ethnology, philology, philosophy, and philology, the language, are uncovering. But those who have discovered them, they have been left unexplained. They just brush it off, like the Calico video I did the other day, right? What happened? It got proven to be that old. It got proven to be real stone tools made by man. They want to say, no, those are natural. Even though the scientists, the archaeologists, and geologists agreed on the dating, but this did not become mainstream, right? It has been left unexplained on purpose. Finally, fully supported by the present science of mythology. Now it's just mythology. And that is supported, because that just becomes like a fairy tale. It affords modern scholars a working hypothesis likely to be confirmed by the fruits of future research. All right? When did they write this book? Yo, this is what I'm saying, guys. When did they write this book? Aren't we in the future from this book? Aren't we doing the research now? What are we uncovering now? It's prophecy. That's prophecy. The author just became a prophet. Since it seems evident that ancient scholars of different peoples and nations could not have agreed so completely in their respective records upon facts revealed by modern science, had an accurate story of mankind not been handed down to the myth makers of the prehistoric priesthoods, the myth makers, the gatekeepers. And we are done with chapter 3. Look at this book right here, The Vikings and the Red Man. It got so much drop to go over, guys. But I'm glad we do it and the way we do it. It's just there's a time for everything, it takes steps for some people. You gotta let go of some hijacks to learn new ones. Right? That was a pretty interesting chapter. It starts out a little crazy. I hate, with the whole root race thing, and oh man, that just kind of throws me off with the author. But after all the research they do and they still going off Blavatsky, maybe because she was a follower of Theosophical Society, maybe, possibly, or he. So again, this was chapter 3. The Flaming Sword and the Cherubim, God's House and the Abyss of Learning, Cain and Abel, the Miocene Cataclysm, Ru, the Red Man, rules the earth, Atlas and the Atlantean Kingdom, the origin of the name America, land of the Immortals, the Algonquian Amerikan-ka-nee, and the man of Erin, the blessed land of Avalon. The Red Man found Siluria in Britain and Je-ru-si-loam. Okay? And again, just so you guys know what we're reading, a lot of you got me a little late. Again, this was the book, America, the background of Columbus, being a survey of the revelations of science with respect to the Western Hemisphere and its peoples before its unveiling by Columbus, all right? The title's a little weird. Like, if you read this title, you wouldn't know all this drop is in here. Like, so the title's a little weird, but I mean, there's a lot of drop to pull out of this and put together with our other research. And every time we're getting closer and closer to proving the theories we have based on the information we've gone over in research. I've been saying the Algonquians and all these people are related to the, like I've been saying this, guys. It was connected. Ireland was connected to ancient. I've been telling you who's the first navigators. We've already broken this down. If anybody was to cross the Atlantic, it would have been from the American side. That was based on the most famous scholar on navigation. He said that. But this stuff gets brushed under the rug. It doesn't get mentioned in your schools or universities or colleges. And you still got the same textbooks. Nobody's updating the textbooks. Nobody's going on TED Talk to talk about this. And everybody wants to be, have something to say about modern politics, Trump and Biden, and I'm a Democrat, I'm a Republican, I'm a liberal, this and that. That's all hijacked. It's a waste of time for me. It hurts my ears hearing all these people. The ignorance of everybody. Don't even know who they are. Don't even know themselves, but they want to talk about everything else. How can you talk about everything else when you don't even know who you are? Rockefeller funded, all that. Soros, all those people. And there's a reason why they fund this stuff. Who were these so-called black magicians we were reading about? Or what they saying, the black Atalatans, or the evil Atalatans. Who are these black magicians, huh? You pa, yeah. All right, hold on. Let me pull up sign, guys. Before I go, let me pull up sign. Where did my other window go? Here we go. Right? Get the whole drop of the other chapters we went over. They got the playlist already created. America being a survey of the scientific revelations of, blah, 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 blah. It's a long title. So not only that, please check out my other playlist when it relates to this. So we got, right? We got Sacred Mysteries Among the Maya and Quiche by Augustus Le Plongeon. Oh, this was so much drop. There was so much drop on this. It's good. You're going to see how it correlates with this book. That's 6 parts right here. All right. In case you missed them, all these videos that should have thousands of views and they don't. This one got 2,000.9, 3.9. Yet somebody goes live on our community and you got 5,000 views in the same day. And they're just talking. They're not showing you anything. But we're going over so much info and so much true ancient history, right? Hey guys, like I know a lot of you guys say, wow, I didn't know you. But guys, go to my playlist tab. Go to my playlist tab. I have so many. I have them in order for you. Look at this one. Check out this one. We're talking about the origin of the name America. Check out these first 2 videos at least. This one's 2 hours long. This one's only an hour. You're going to see the America drop that we just went over in a different way. Like, it's so much drop in these two, disproven. We didn't even talk about the Amerik in Nicaragua, the Amerik people. That was their name before Europeans arrived. Amerisque Mountains. These were Maya people. All right. So check out that playlist and hold on. I'm not done. Oh, this is a pretty good one. We still got to finish this book. It's History of America Before Columbus. There's a lot of good drop on this one too. Like, this is what I'm saying. All these studies are coming together. They're telling you it's the same thing about America. All these researchers, all these anthropologists were literally concluding the same thing after they had studied all these ancient texts, all these ancient people. They're literally telling you, right? What same thing this book is telling you, right? So we got, hold up, I'm not done. I want you guys to check out this one. This one's so much drop on this one. Researches into the Lost History of America. That's a whole other book. A whole book we went over. That's 15 parts. We read every chapter. A lot of good drop. Remember this one, guys? A lot of good drop. There's so much drop. And you're going to see how it connects to literally what this book was saying. This little one chapter. Like you guys will see. You guys will see. I got it in order for you and everything. I got them in playlists organized so you don't have to be looking all over the place. Take advantage. You binge watch TV series, well, do it with this. If you like history, true history. There's a lot of drop in this one. A lot of good drop in this one, right? These are like specific books we read, right? Those playlists are from specific books we read. Look at this one, Kings of Rhoda, ancient Roman colony in Arizona. Where's ancient Rhoda, guys? You guys don't know about that. And what they found there, the Tucson crosses. The Tucson crosses, right? We got 4 parts. I got to get back into the book. We haven't finished it. I got to get back. This is a good, really good book. Look, I give a Ace Ali. Look, I give a lot of props to people who are always trying to investigate something, because it takes real people to do that and create a channel, and it's not easy, right? But I also see the biases in certain people, and everything is not Moorish science. Everything is not Moors, okay? So unfortunately, Ace, there's a lot of hijacking biases there. Yeah, I know, because I watch the videos, or I used to watch a lot of them to try to understand what people are saying and why they're saying it. But a lot of time I just see generalizations. But shout out to everybody who tries, right? I just wish they get out of their own biases. Okay? But it's all good. It's all good. In plain sight. Ah, man. We still haven't finished this book. I might bring it to Jamaica with me. I'm going to bring a couple books with me to Jamaica so we can read them. Because I don't know if I'm going to be able to upload over there and edit and stuff. I ain't going to have a computer, I'm probably going to be going live, on the phone. If I can get a phone. I still haven't bought a new one because my old one messed up. So this is a great book too. And we're talking about the inscriptions. This is what I was saying, guys. The inscriptions they found here. And they're finding here. We still got to finish this book. Shout out to Gloria Farley for creating this book in plain sight. It's in plain sight and we still don't see it. It's in plain sight. And this is the philology videos. Look, this is comparative philology. Look, what is the title of this video? America had all the old world languages. And then look, it says Black Caucasia. The Black Caucasians, part 2. The connection of culture in Asia and America, old world languages. Look, philology, guys. This is what they were talking about today. When you start really, really researching that, you'll see how it connects to the Americas. Like, look, guys, I don't want you to say I'm not saying I'm the best. I'm not saying follow me only, because you gotta don't follow anybody blindly is what I'm trying to say. Even me, verify everything I say. I know a lot of it sounds like music to your ears, and oh well, I only grabbed this part from him, but you gotta know people's heart and integrity and what is their agenda. What are they really pushing on you? You gotta try to see between the lines. Know people's heart. I mean, what else? I'm just showing you like some certain playlists that I think if you like that's ancient America research, right? I mean, the false chronology one, that's a great one too, because we got to understand we live in a false chronology. Shout out to Anatoly Fomenko and the other authors we read in this series. Shout out, look, the last video, look, I'm not done either. Anatoly got like 22 books. We only read the first book. Some of the books got a lot of hijack here and there, but prove that radiocarbon dating methods are false, flawed, and unreliable scientifically. Like, guys, watch this video if you're still going off carbon datings. If you're still trusting carbon datings, like, you need to watch that video. Shout out to Anatoly Fomenko. All right. What else? What else, man? Oh, there we go. This is another book we read, guys. It's called Shadow of Atlantis. This was a great book, too. This is so much drop on this book, too. The Phoenix red-skinned Atlanteans. That's what Phoenix meant, who settled Europe and Africa. Egyptians came from America. Look at part 1. Negroid indigenous Americans, progenitors of the ancient Egyptians. Like, part 3, the Carians or Caribs. Then you got the Tupis, the Guaranis, Phoenician pre-Egyptians. Then we got the Etruscans, Pelasgi, the Basque, Celts. This is all going with what we read today, right? And all these nations came out of Atlantis, aka America. That's the title of that one. Then look at this one, the Atlanto-Ethiopian, 3 Egyptians of America, origin, Shadow of Atlantis, chapter 10. All right, that was a great book. We read completely. Like whole books, guys, we're reading completely and chapters by chapter, so you guys can break it down how you want and take your time with it, right? What else? I got more. I know I got more. Oh, we got this one. I think this one we haven't finished yet. Secret Cities of Ancient South America. A lot of great drop on this one too. A lot of great drop. This is just based on the book, this specific book, right? Yeah, we got to finish this one. Yep, we got it. Look at this one, the last 3, Monstrous Beasts of Unexplored Swamps and Wilds, That was a long chapter. I had to do 3 parts. Amazonian warrior women existed. Origins in ancient America, more than Greek fables. It's more than just, who's Queen Khalifa? All right? Like, there's so much drop. You guys remember, right? You read it with, I read these with you. Yes. If you haven't been here for the whole journey, guys, catch up. That's what I mean. That's a lot of drop here. It's still relevant. This is a good one too, forbidding archaeology. Forbidding archaeology, proof of early man in America. So when we talk about the geology, what the geology proves of America, that's what in the book was saying. Once you really start studying the geology, you're gonna see how old America is, how long people have been here, and it rewrites history. It debunks all their out of Africa stuff. Okay? This is so much drop here. Man, I got to do marathons one day. I just do a marathon. Maybe that's what I'll do if I can when I'm in Jamaica. In case you didn't know, if you didn't hear my video the other day, because you probably missed the live, I'm going to Jamaica in August, guys. So I was saying, who wants to do a meetup, and nobody responded. I guess nobody wants to meet me. That's all right. I get it. I'm not nobody. I get it. I ain't anybody. Nobody wants to meet me. Nobody wants to, I don't know. I guess the Jamaicans don't really watch me, even though it says that's the 3rd largest country that watches me. I guess nobody wants to meet me. Well, I don't want to meet you either then. Bamba class. Yeah, I'm like, well, nobody responded. I guess no, they don't really watch me. I don't know. Maybe the algorithms, maybe those analytics are just making up things, Hey, I'm gonna be there anyways, enjoying myself and with family, and I'm gonna do some specific videos on certain things in Jamaica while I'm there. Okay? All right, I'm gonna show you some interesting stuff. I'm not talking about if you're going to this, I'm talking about if you're there in August. I'm not gonna go back, guys. I'm gonna be there in August for like 2 weeks. All right? I'm gonna be there in 2 weeks. My people from Belize, all right, but I'm not talking about Belize. And if your people are in Belize, that's not too far from Costa Rica. Drive down. You can literally take a bus from Belize and come here. Literally. I've done it. I've taken a bus from all the way to Boston, all the way to Costa Rica, bus and train. Should I join the Patreon YouTube community? Hey, Salih, that's up to you. Like, you want to support me? I mean, I'm not going to say, yeah, join it. Like, obviously, what do you think I'm going to say? No? Of course, I ain't going to say no. You know, any little thing helps always. I got mouths to feed. YouTube be hating on me. They don't pay me what I deserve. They don't give me the views I deserve. They take 30% on top of that. Like, it sucks, man. And I see these other YouTubers with the same amount of subscribers, like banking, right? You know, and I don't want to be rich. I just want to have enough money where I can actually buy more books, even get into the movies, get into traveling, all that. You know, like meeting, doing tours and stuff, like publishing books that cost money and all that. Like, you know, but it's all good. My Patreon, hey guys, put the Patreon, the Patreon's already on the chat, guys. J9 just put the Patreon link. It's always, and also, you guys are not reading the description of the videos. My Patreon link, my Patreon link is on every video, every description. Okay? Let me just show you something real quick. Let me just show you. I did it the other day. I showed you what the benefit is on Patreon. Like, yeah, you get some exclusive videos on YouTube if you become a member, but remember, YouTube takes 30%. I actually prefer you guys to be Patreons, you know? But I appreciate my YouTube members. And you guys do get more private videos of me, my travels and blogs I do, because those are private things. I don't like the hijack seeing all that private stuff, right? So this is my Patreon right here. This is one of the recent books I just shared. The Six Black. There's so many books here, guys. I shared this one we read today. Look, here it is right here. So my patrons enjoy it. They get to download it. You see, they give comments. Big up Kurimeo. I appreciate you very much. It's a whole community here. There's even a live chat. I mean, a group chat that you can chat and share things with everybody. Talk. You can reach out to me in private message here too. Like, these are all stuff I share here. You got exclusive videos. This one that got taken down, and YouTube. So videos that get taken down from YouTube, I put them on Patreon. Right? There's so many books here. And then we got the whole Chazar series, parts 23 to 34, because I had to move it to my Patreon because they were literally going to take my channel down. Yeah, the Chazars. If you don't know what the Chazars are, go watch Don't Mention the Chazars playlist, okay? Don't go watch this series. Like, this is a very important series to understand why we live in the world we live today and who's really running it. And you can't mention them. This is all subliminal. Don't mention the Chazars. You cannot talk about them. They own Google. They own YouTube. They own everything. They own the presidents. You guys want to give specific names, but don't understand it's not just specific names. There's a lot of them. So, look, I only got 22 parts here, like fully, right? The rest are just trailers for the ones on Patreon. They're just trailers. Oh, 31 made it. 31 made it on. But then they gave me trouble again. Oh, then I got the Mayweather. He loves the Chazars. Mayweather loves his Chazars, man. I mean, the money bag. Yeah, what puppet you gonna vote for next? You're still voting, right? What puppet you gonna vote for next? Guys, this is so controversial. You cannot. I didn't even want to bring them up because I don't want this video to get taken down, right? We got another playlist. I missed this one. Mysteries of Ancient South America. That's another book. Look, 1, 2, 3, 4 parts. We read all the chapters. Check it out. Oh, actually, we didn't read all the chapters because there were some chapters like, oh, this is kind of whack. So we read some pretty good chapters. All right. And I mean, Ancient and Modern Britons. That's the one I was saying, guys. You gotta, like, this is a really good one. This is a really good one as well. So there's 2 volumes. We read volume 1 kind of completely. We started reading volume 2. We ain't done with volume 2 yet. All right. Your Egyptian Scots, huh? Egyptian Scots, huh? Gypsies, huh? Gypsies are pigs. Look at that. Britons, Gypsies, British Indians, Tinklers of Scotland, the Gypsy Moorish Marauders, Black Conquest, Swarthy Nation. Check it out. We got so much drop. And I got this book also, both volumes on my Patreon. I got almost all these books on my Patreon, guys. If you just don't know how to find them online and you just want to make it easier, they're on my Patreon. You can download all of them. You're missing out on a lot of drop. Look, these are books that I got there. Look, Sacred Mysteries among the Mayas and Quiche. The Augustus Le Plongeon. I got the Queen Mu one there too. Look, the Indians of the southeastern United States. This was a really good drop. We read all the tribes that they mentioned, and on YouTube, right? We read that on YouTube. Sun circles and human hands. Look, and so on, guys. There's so much in here. The Princess and the Prophet, the secret history of magic, race, and black Muslims in America. You know, and there's no amount. Like for my Patreon, I don't even set like amount limits. Like it's up to you, whatever you're willing and able to give. Like, you know, what's in your heart. You know, whatever you think this information is valued. What I do, whatever you think what I do is valued. You think it's only worth $1? Hey, man, I guess that's what you think it's worth. But hey, you can donate $1, but you know, what do you pay for your Netflix subscription, for anything? A lot of things you don't really need, right? Oh, this is a exclusive video they took down from YouTube. The author was hating. The author of the book didn't want me to read it. This is such a great book. I wish I can read it. I wish I can read the whole book on YouTube. Like, we just read the introduction. There was so much drop just in the introduction itself. Look how it's called. On Savage Shores, How Indigenous Americans Discovered Europe. Come on now. Load more. There's way more. So that's an exclusive video that's there that they took down from YouTube. Look, more books. The American Discovery of Europe, a whole other take by Jack Forbes. That's what I'm saying. Telling us history in reverse. That's why he said the Vikings, Eric the Red. Why is he called the Red? Look, part 33. Don't mention the Chazars. Part 32. Look, this is 2.5 hours. This is 1 hour and 20 minutes. Look, America Before Columbus, volume 1 and 2. Right? Look, the whole collection of Anatoly Fomenko's 22-book series. 22 books. They're all right here, you see? 1 to 22. You can download all of them. What you waiting for? He's like, oh, a lot of people are like, yeah, I'm gonna put $1 and take all the books. Well, you're gonna miss out on every other book I upload every other day, every week, every month. Don't be like that, man. Don't just come just for that. Like, you know, support what I do if you like what I do, man. Support what I do. I give a lot of love and appreciation to my patrons because they're the ones holding me up. They're the ones literally maintaining my salary because YouTube literally makes it hard to have a salary. Like, if I depended on YouTube alone, I would have to go get a job. I don't understand that. I get subscribers almost every day. It keeps growing and the views just like stagnating. Like I told you, last night's video, nobody's watching. Nobody wants to watch the documentary. What I think has so much drop. It's pretty good. Nobody wants to watch it. Don't mention the Chazars. Just don't mention the Chazars. Look at that. How many parts, man? Oh, we're due for another part, right? Because there's so much shit going on in that part of the world with these Chazars that we got to do an update. This is another exclusive video. The Pyramids of Tukume. It's uncensored. Actually, no, they made me take down. Did I? I think yeah, this is the one that is not edited, because I had to edit it and take out a lot of scenes from this video to put it on YouTube, or else they wouldn't let me put it on YouTube. So this includes the TV documentary banned on YouTube, right? Like this is a more fuller version, right? The Chase Our Job. Hey guys, like this one is deep. this one right here. I'm not even gonna mention it. Look, see what it says right here in the beginning. 911. A chase our inside job. See, like guys, you watch this one right here, you're gonna see who really did that and how much they were involved. Like how they playing us like fools, man. How they playing us. Look at this history of the Choctaw and Chickasaw and Natchez Indians by Cushman. Look, researchers into the lost histories of America. This is that series I was telling you guys to watch. All right. What do you mean? How do you navigate the Patreon? You just go to the main page. Look, you got I don't know, you're looking at it from your phone, so it's a little different, obviously. But I'm sure on the phone it has the 3 dots or the 3 lines to get the options, to get the menu. But if you just go on the main page, all you got to do is scroll down. All you got to do is scroll down, Alice, and you'll see all the posts. It's like a wall. This is the post, right? And then you got, let me show you, the community. Let me show you where you can chat with everybody or just with me. Oh, look, this is from 2 hours ago, right? Kurimeo, thank you for everything you do. I'm sending this message and watching you on YouTube. That's what's up. Hey, Mina, thank you. Your video about the Black Europeans, I've been watching you for about 3 or 4 years. Awesome, man. So I got to respond to her. I will soon, so I can respond to her. See, right here. Anybody can respond. This is the group chat. She could, like, you can contact me privately too. TC says, I'm new here, guys. It's an honor to join the community. 4 minutes ago. Hey, thank you. Thank you for becoming a member right now. Thank you. Appreciate that. I'm humble, ambitious to learn. Hey, thank you. Thank you. You're going to see there's a lot of good people here. Sometimes people drop info. Like, let me show you. See? That's not me. Sometimes people like conservative currency. Like he's trying to help me. He's been trying to help me with the Black Europeans, right? I got the Hitler and the Karl Marx drop from some of the articles he shared, and I went and did my thing. I was like, all right, let me look for all the footnotes. Let me look for all the sources, so we can prove it to everybody, and that's what I did. Okay. So and then you got direct messages, right? You can direct message me here. I don't want to go into them because these are more private, but I'm just showing you, right? You can direct message me here. I try to keep up to date. So this was from 1 day ago. I got to respond to him. And this is from 2 hours ago. So that's still, right? People talk to me, share stuff with me. So that's pretty cool on Patreon, right? And then you got the channel membership, guys. Got my channel membership, right? You can like support me that way if you like to. If you don't want to go on Patreon for some reason, I don't know why, but I got private videos here where you're gonna get more personal videos about me, vlogs, my travels in Costa Rica. Last week, 9 days ago, I uploaded this. I went to the Pacific side. I went to Jaco Beach town. I stayed at Beach Break Resort. It sounds fancy, but I paid. I'm not even gonna tell you how much. It was very cheap for 5 people. It was 1 night. It was so cheap. You'd be like, what? You guys would be like, what? I gotta go to Costa Rica. Sometimes we do live investigations with the members only. You see, I've done that a couple times already. My son's first amateur fight. Look at that. Little chase art drop right here. Tamarindo Beach, Costa Rica, Hotel Villas. Me in my backyard harvesting and working on my yard and my garden. Me in the farmer's market, and so on and so on. And then I sometimes notify my members when I'm going live before anybody, right? These are all members videos, right? You want to see a little one? Check it out. I know a lot of you already saw these people and I had to start over, so. But you made it first this time. The other day. What's up, Luna? What's up, Luna? This is pretty because it's just like red and purple, you see? So I wanted purple to mix here. This was all full of weed. First growing there too. That's what I plan to do here. Oh man, hold on. Let me show you the type of squashes I've been harvesting. I just cut a big one the other day and I gave half to my wife's friend, and
just to have a character.
Yep. So you guys get the idea. You guys kind of get the idea. Yep. And this is, again, that's why I said the other day, don't give out memberships to random people, because I don't want random people watching my private videos, you know? Because a lot of people are bad-minded. A lot of people are very bad-minded, you know, and they troll me and stuff. This was one of those that you got to watch my phone so you can get the full view. And we interact.
Yeah, I appreciate you, Uleno. Thank you. Yo, greetings all the way.
Show you my chickens. Check it out. Those are my chickens. I raised my own eggs.
What you doing, Luna? Think you're gonna chill there?
All right, so you guys get it. It's up to you how you like to support me. If you want to support me both ways, even better. I ain't gonna say no. All right, so hold on. Let me just give a shout out to everybody. Let me see. Make sure I get. Let me see. Hold up. Hey, Nitzia, thank you. Quiero hablar contigo. Oh yeah, no worries. You know where to find me. Yeah, for sure. I try to make some time. And thank you for becoming a member for 15 months. I appreciate you, Nitzia. Thank you. The Real Slave Trade, the Gospels according to Piso. All right. Thank you for the donation. Hermana, my sister. Thank you for that. So, guys, I'm going to go ahead and end it here. Appreciate you guys tuning in today. I hope you enjoyed the drop. And we're definitely going to continue reading that book and see what we pull out of it. We go little by little through these books, through these chapters. In between, you know, I drop other videos in between. I don't try to stay on one subject all the time. I try to mix it up always, right? But, you know, that's what we're doing. And shout out again to my Patreon supporters for holding me up. Shout out to all the moderators, my member channels, all my longtime followers. I appreciate you guys so much, man. Like, thank you for that. Thank you. We're gonna go out with the Quetzalmeo. Quetzalmeo, it's like saying Quetzalcoatl, but with the Kurimeo added. It's Quetzalmeo mix by Science. All right. Shout out to Science for you know, sharing. Shout out to all my producers. I appreciate you guys. Shout out to all the producers who send me beats for free and don't charge me and don't expect anything from it. That's their contribution. Shout out to you guys for the love. Okay. Shout it out. Okay. So I'm going to go out with Quetzalmeo by Science. All right. I know he's going to watch this later. You're very welcome, everybody. Thank you. You know, again, if you want to support what I do, you saw all those stuff I got on Patreon. You know, that's where you can support me and become a channel member as well. You know, if you appreciate what I do, if you understand how hard it is and all this research and all this stuff, all these 8 years, it's not just 8 years, man. Yo, Olmec 12, he's one of my producers. Olmec 12, thank you, man. Appreciate the video, the audio, the instrumentals you sent me too. Shout out to Olmec 12. Thank you, brother. Again, we're gonna go out with Quetzalmeo. Appreciate you guys. Take care. Shabbat Shalom. Have a good, strong ending to your week. Not a week ending, but a strong ending. Not a weekend, but a strong end. All right. And again, America is a true old world. Know thyself fully. It's not one-sided. I appreciate all the supporters. Thank you very much. All right. Much love and respect. Pura vida, mi gente. Wow. Hawaii.